Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hi.
It's been a long time. I haven't seen you girls in a while.
I know it's been really. Where has the time gone? It's crazy.
It's flying.
But also, we have finally found a home.
Yes, we have a whole new studio, which is why we're not having a guest today because we're kind of experimenting.
It's a little bit of a test.
It's a trial run.
Our home is Real Songs now.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Diane Warren.
Thank you,
Thank
Diane.
you, Diane Warren.
Thank you, Diane.
Yes, we were in a very cool building, and I wish everybody could see it. It is unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
When you get off the elevator, it's a subway stop, including the graffiti.
I love it. It's awesome.
Yes.
And the dog peeing on the.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
There's animals everywhere. There's a little mouse in every single tree, in every single little plant
There's
here.
a little mouse back here.
Yes.
So,
We're on the RAGS
because
because
Risa,
Gloria,
Sloan.
RAGS. Acronym.
Yes.
Get it? So can I start, even though I'm not an
Yes.
R?
Yeah.
I just have to say something, and I'm not preachy. If you have a parent or a child or a sibling or a really good friend, and you haven't told them that you love them lately, you should.
Yes.
You should tell them now.
Okay, I love you all. I love
I
No,
love
I'm
you
being
all.
Love you all.
serious.
I know,
I'm being
because-
really serious.
yes.
You
And
know,
it's love all around us.
Everybody should-
look at the room is full of love.
everybody should pick up the phone.
Yes.
Not now, after our podcast.
Right.
Pick up
Wait.
the phone and call and tell somebody you love them because life is really short.
And you don't know.
No.
I know. We shouldn't say
No,
it
but
like that. But
I know 4 people that have passed that
Okay.
I personally know, and it's just
Okay,
really
I
getting
know.
to me.
I know.
Life is so short. So
I know
be nice.
Are people
Yeah.
passing of what? Like, what's happening?
everything.
Just random things, not COVID related.
One was, Scott Koenig was.
No, we've had a lot here too. A lot.
It's
Yeah.
really, really sad. So enough of Debbie Downer.
Okay.
Just wanted to say,
Call your
kind,
people.
everybody. Yeah,
Call
call
your
your people and be nice, be kind.
You know how on one of our podcasts we talked about dating, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So now why don't we just talk about marriages? Because they come in all different sizes, shapes, and colors.
Yes.
Right?
And weights and looks and
Because
feels.
every time I read the newspaper, like this week, there's always some story about a marriage story. Like I hate to mention names, but like Tori Spelling.
Yeah.
Again.
There's like speculation that she's getting divorced because she was yelling at her attorney about custody issues. And then there was a story about Robin Wright, who I happen to love, showing her making out with her husband on the beach. Because after all, when your ex-husband announces that he's going through a divorce, that's what you do. You make out with your husband now.
She may just be doing that because she loves her husband. It may not be in reaction to.
Right. But the press picks up on the fact that, they took a picture of it.
Yes, I understand, but we don't know that.
Well, we don't, because
Well, we kind of do because we know what kind of people they have out here in Los Angeles.
I don't think she lives in Los Angeles.
Well, I think that if you went through a divorce and you're now happily married, and then your ex is going through like a tumultuous thing again, it might just reinforce that you're really happy in your current marriage, right?
Exactly.
Like it reminds you that you made a good decision.
But you may just be so involved in your own life that you don't have to be happy that he's now,
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
saying
who
it doesn't
would-
it
who would
doesn't
do
have to
that?
be Schadenfreude. It can just be
It's pretty interesting
Pure
because
joy.
we're 4 friends, 4 women, and we all have different situations in our relationships
yeah,
or our marriages or our prior marriages, right?
right?
correct.
Like Sloan, let's use you as an example. You're
yes,
in a very long. How long have you been married?
20 years in February.
So you've been married for 20 years in February, and your husband has been married before. But the
Yes,
reason
he
why
was married for a very long time.
But the reason why his marriage broke up was because his wife passed away.
Correct. I did not know him for in his first life.
And Gloria, how long have you been married?
Well, like 41 years because in St. Louis they do get married at 9.
Right.
Not really St. Louis
Why you didn't?
because I really love everybody in St. Louis except my family.
Did you get married in St.
But
Louis?
nobody. Yeah, we were on tour, and
Yeah.
we just quickly went to the Justice of the Peace.
Wait, let's
got
have
married.
Let's have this woman come in. Hold on.
Come
here.
say hi.
Come here.
Come on. Hi.
Okay, so as we told you before, we're at
there's
Real Songs,
Diane.
and we have this amazing woman
Right here.
has
There's
lent
3,
us.
so
Come here. Has lent us
You have to
this
share
amazing
a
office.
frame.
Come over here.
Okay.
Do you know what we did yesterday?
Tell us.
Well, I'm just going to say, I had lunch with 3 friends yesterday. And at the very last minute, as we're ending lunch, I asked the question, if you had to redo your life all over again, what would you do differently?
Oh, that's
And it
a
was
great
really
question.
fun.
And
It
did
was
Diane
really
answer?
fun.
But speak in.
Come here, come here.
We won't, I don't think we'll pick it up if you don't.
I wouldn't redo anything because if you change one thing, it fucks up something else.
That's exactly right.
That's true.
You never know
It's a
what-
domino,
you never-
right?
But
Yeah.
that's absolutely not what you said
Butterfly.
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
That's not what you said yesterday?
No.
No, I did. I didn't say I would change anything. What did I say? Fuck. Oh, one.
I don't think you should change anything, honestly.
I don't want to change anything, but I don't want to miss a thing either.
Oh,
Oh,
as we know, that was one of Diane's.
That was really fun. We had a great time.
Oh, we're sorry you didn't
Yeah.
invite us. That's okay. Don't worry. Amy and I don't mind.
Who's cheating
yeah,
on
that's
who?
totally fine.
Oh, my God.
We are going to have her.
Wait, Wiener wants to come on. She wants to say
If I was to change my life, I would change it to be a little bit taller.
No, it can't be something you can't
It has to be something you have
I can't
control over.
We'll hire shoes more often.
Oh, there you go. That's
Yes.
Because you can't see, Cindy Wiener
They
or
can't
Weiner
see.
is, how tall are you, Cindy?
4'9".
4'9".
4'9".
4'9".
Half of the legally on my license.
But you know what? You know what they say, don't you? Good things come in small packages. Our next podcast will be Diane Warren.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Yes.
That's true.
Interestingly, because we just had Diane stop by, we should have asked her opinion about marriage because she's a whole other story. But okay, we were talking about you Gloria,
Me
have been
getting married as a
41
child.
Yes, in St. Louis.
Yes, as a 9-year-old.
Because he was
My
on,
husband was on tour.
Yes.
And we just kind of went in and got married. It was that simple.
I love
Then
that.
our honeymoon, which was the next day, was in Bangor, Maine.
Wow, that's in a song, an
Oh.
old song, and I'll think of it later. And Amy, how long have you been married?
I have been married. It'll be 10 years in April.
But you've been together for how long?
17.
Right.
Yeah, so it feels like
How on earth have you done
50.
it? Oh my God.
You know how she keeps it. You know how she keeps it together. Why is it?
Well, the reason Fred is still alive.
Yes, the right is.
He's just so cute.
Yeah,
He's
that's
so
why.
funny, so cute. So he kind of saves himself. It's like his survival.
It's like a
mechanism in the
child.
wild. It's like a chameleon's skin changing
Yeah.
color. It saves their lives literally, and that's Fred's.
His survival mechanism.
Yeah.
Is that.
Right.
So of all of us, because everything's different, I am the only one of the 4 of us that's been through a divorce. And I am not a child of divorce. My parents were married until my father passed away, which was 6 years ago. And they would have continued to be married. Was it perfect? Was it a perfect marriage? Maybe not, because
Is there a perfect marriage?
No.
you know, maybe not.
Except for my husband being
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yes,
perfect husband.
Of course. But mine, you know, and I did go through a divorce, and which is a hard thing, very difficult. But I too had to look at my part in the divorce because I could blame it all on my ex-husband. You know, there's 3.
I would.
There, I know you do.
I blame him.
You know, there's 3 sides to every story, as you probably heard. His side, her side, and the truth.
Yeah.
So I had a part.
Which is
in-
usually her side. I don't know.
I had a part in it. Look, I have a high intensity pressurized career, which I guess I brought it home. And my ex-husband thought that he came in third in my life. He thought that my son came first, my work came second, and he came third.
Of course.
And maybe if you're a quote unquote career woman, that's
what you
an
do.
issue. And maybe that's not right. I mean, maybe that's not
Don't
the way.
you think that's the case for most men?
That's a choice. That's a choice you make.
It was a choice I made.
Yeah.
Would I have made it differently when you were talking about changing? I don't know. I mean, yes, there were things that I missed by being too focused on my career, but I had to be focused because in my world, you have to work 24/7.
And you had to put bread on the table.
But
I
don't you
did.
think if you're the person that's kind of running your household and making all the money, that's been kind of the male-dominated thing throughout history, right? So,
So when you're like that, you need to marry somebody very secure. That's
well,
the problem.
absolutely.
Oh, I thought that my ex-husband was so secure. I thought that he was. I used to say that. I used to go, he's very secure. Until something changed
Right.
his viewpoint.
You know, they always say that in so many, and this is such a generalization. So, oh my God, of course, there are millions of exceptions to any kind of generalization or rule, but so many men can seem so supportive until it starts to infringe on their time or their feelings or whatever, right? There's always a line where they want you to be as successful as possible. But if that success includes working out of town a lot or spending too much time away, suddenly
You feel
it's a problem.
demasculated.
Yeah, and they don't really love that anymore.
I agree with that, Amy. Men, there's very few that could deal with such a successful woman. It's not the norm, I don't think. They have to be number one, or they have to think they're number one. I think when we got married, I was working 6 days a week. And on the seventh day, Don played golf on the day that I wasn't working. So it was hard. And he was gone several days during the week, which was good because I worked late on those nights. A long story, but I almost was going to be in another city. And he said, we'll do it. We'll make it work. It'll be fine. And I knew it would not be, because he's a very high strung quintuple A also. So that just wouldn't work for me to not be there on those nights.
That was what my father was like. And my mother had to put him first. She put him first before she put her children. She is a good mother, but she did put my father first because he was that man that needed the food on the table when he came home, and he paid the bills.
Some men are needier.
Yeah, some are.
It's a very old school kind of dynamic.
And Risa's husband isn't that generation, but he was still not Fred's generation.
My ex-husband was younger than me, too.
Yeah.
But if you ask Diane, Diane's not married, no interest in being married, and she'll say those things.
She works so hard.
I get that.
Diane?
I get it too. I
do
wouldn't
too.
get married again.
Yeah.
Well, but then I am with somebody. I'm not married to him, but I hope to be with him forever. I mean, I hope. If he can tolerate me for forever.
Oh, well, so much for that.
It might be a problem.
Back to J-Date.
It's interesting about the people that you may, the reasons why you're attracted. Look, I just left, I know he'll hear this, but I just
Don't say it.
I just left my boyfriend at home. He had bought a new garbage disposal and he was installing it. Okay, that's the kind of man you need.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's amazing.
Not a Jewish husband.
God,
Not a-
definitely not.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
My husband is
Definitely
Adina, but he
not.
thinks he is.
I mean, my husband wouldn't even know how to work the garbage machine, much less install it.
Seriously.
That's funny. That is funny.
Yeah.
There is something to say about a man that fixes things.
Yes, that is
This is
hot.
like, we
That's
sound
hot.
like,
Do you make him wear overalls when he does it and have one strap
No,
down?
but he was wearing jeans and a T-shirt. I'm like, wow, that looks good.
Did it say Calvin at the back?
No,
Or
his
it was,
underwear
like,
weren't
sagging
showing.
low.
Okay, but let's go back to Gloria, who's married to a rock star. That's a really hard. You would think if you didn't know Terry Butler that's a hard life.
Yeah,
at least
it is.
when he's young.
It is. It's a hard life now.
Well, no, because when somebody's on the road all of that time,
That's how it works.
they are so
That is
they're
how it works.
seduced into. But
Yes,
no,
but he happens to be such a loyal, devoted guy. Most rock stars can't be alone for a night.
no, but they all also have so much temptation
That's a
thrown
good-
at
That's a
them.
good
Yes,
point because
yeah.
he can't. So that's a good point.
What?
Be
can't be
alone.
for a night.
Well, he likes
They're
to be
very
alone.
high maintenance,
No, he does
right?
now.
I feel
He
like
does.
Fred and Terry have
they're-
a very
yeah.
similar thread, which is like what? Crazy high maintenance, very loyal. They
just
cannot be on their
Needy.
own.
Needy.
Yeah.
They're both needy.
Yeah, but Terry was on the road without Glow, right?
Yeah, but he had
Sometimes?
roadies and like people to tend to his every need otherwise.
But
you know?
absence does make the heart grow fonder. And
It
I do
does.
believe
I do.
that our time apart helped our relationship a lot.
I'm sure.
do.
Yeah.
But can I say something? There's two sides of that story. Absence
Truth.
makes the heart grow fonder, or out of sight, out of mind. And so it depends on him as a human being. He's a loyal, honorable man.
And we're both very lucky to have each other.
Exactly.
There
I
you
agree.
go.
And same with you and Fred.
Yeah.
Look, I read his fan pages on Facebook. I mean, he's got these people coming out of the woodwork telling him how much they love him.
Do they tell him, do they say that they've had his baby or no?
No.
As far as I know, nobody's had Fred's baby, including
But I was just checking.
myself.
But you know, we talked about that when we all were talking. We talked about the fact that just like rock stars hockey players seems to get married young because, well, come from a family that did have that kind of marriage, and they're on the road and they get traded, then they have to move to another state. And so the only stability they really find that they have is making their own stability with their own wife and their
family
own
unit.
Yeah.
child or
Right.
children. And that's the only thing that they have that's really stable.
Yeah.
But I came from a very unstable household, and I didn't want to get married early because I wanted to have my shit together first, ready to take care of a man, a family, or whatever. Yeah, maybe what you're saying, Risa, if you know that, you want it. But if you don't know it, you're not sure how to do it. Well, like you were saying, Risa, you came from a happily married family that was not divorced, and you chose a different lifestyle. I mean, you chose to be a high-powered career woman first, then to duplicate what your mother did.
You know what? I think this sounds like a therapy session. You know, my father was very strong-willed, and I saw that my mom, you know, put the food on the table and didn't want to make waves, and you know, he was so. And I thought, I think I used to think to myself, I'm going to make my own living. Nobody
Yeah, I get
is going to
it.
tell
I
me
totally
what to
get
do and how to do it and when to
My
do it.
dad was the same way with my mom.
When I get married, I want to do it for love, plain old, or be with somebody just for love.
What about money?
I made my own.
I know, I'm just teasing.
It's like Cher. I mean, I shouldn't take her lines, but she has said this to her mother once. Said to her, "Oh, Cher, I just wish you could settle down and marry a rich man."
Oh my
and
God.
she said to her, "I am a rich man."
I love that.
So, because you know that's the way our grandmothers or our that generation thought. My mother was mortified that I didn't meet the man that I was going to marry my first semester in college.
Right, of course.
She was mortified.
My parents were kind of the opposite. Like, I got married so late, and I guess
How old were you?
35.
I was
I
36.
mean-
Well, I was older than you.
I was 36.
Yeah, yeah.
They
know-
must have been shitting themselves, were they?
In what way?
Gloria, we're not
35.
cussing anymore, remember?
They were. Oh, that's right.
What?
We're not swearing.
We're not
anymore.
using
No.
foul
After
language.
our
You just
last
said the
guest.
SH word.
It's not a swear word, is it?
Yes.
Oh,
It
I
is.
didn't know. After our last guest taught us not to swear because it makes us sound stupid.
Yeah, it
I
does.
can't think of a better word. Do you know that I have 3 sisters, or I had, unfortunately, 3 sisters. By the time I got married, there were 5 weddings. 2 of them had already been married twice.
Oh my gosh, really?
Oh. Wow.
I mean, more people get divorced than stay married, right? Isn't
That
it
is-
more
that's a-
than
that's a
it's
fact,
more than
or it was.
50%?
Well, I
divorce
should say
rate.
this, and it's probably true about some of us here also. But I remember Tony Howard, who's my very good friend, when I was going through a divorce, she was like, "Oh, Risa, marriages are like pancakes. You throw the first one out."
I think that's true. That's true.
That's very
Oftentimes.
funny.
It's a starter marriage. A starter marriage.
Yeah.
And I
You're
believe
just figuring it out. I mean,
Yeah,
whatever.
I
You know,
guess.
people do the best they can.
Being a
If it
wife is a
doesn't work-
hard job.
It
That's
is
a
hard.
hard job.
It is hard.
it depends.
Being a mother's harder, but being a wife's hard.
Yeah. What if you're a wife and a mother
Forget
to
it.
the same
Forget
person?
it.
To the same. You right?
Then
that-
what? That's really hard.
Maybe Sloan
You're
also.
rude.
Maybe
That's not a
Sloan
bad
too.
word.
What?
That you're a wife and a mother to the same person.
Definitely. And a stepmother. Try that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a hard one.
I kind of have the best deal going because I'm only a mother to 2 dogs.
Yeah, that's true too.
Oh,
pretty good.
excuse me. I
Sorry.
think you're kind of a wife and a mother.
Yeah, but I'm only a mother. Well, yeah, to Fred and
Yeah,
just 2
yeah.
dogs. No real human children that I have to worry about.
Oh, yeah.
Just nice.
Meaning you've only ever nursed the dogs. not
Correct.
Fred, I get it.
Did you actually nurse them?
I would.
I know you
Oh, my
would.
gosh.
I know you would. I
As
know.
if she hasn't.
I know that too. Marriage. It's a great institution.
So great.
If you had to redo your life all over again, what would you do differently? Truth.
Truth. If I had,
Oh, first of all, for those of you that are watching this on YouTube and not just listening to it, in case you're wondering why
Amy's wearing a mask.
Amy's wearing masks, she just had lip injections today.
No,
She's
did not. Although that's a good idea.
She has a cold. Oh, that's a good idea. You could just say,
You could just wear a mask.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Whatever you do to your face, you could just.
wear
Wear a
that.
mask.
She has a cold and she doesn't want us to get sick.
Yes, 'cause
I,
she's
I
very
had
considerate.
a cold.
You know, I can tell you about me. I'm not married anymore, as you know, but
Yeah.
But he counts.
he can't. I got pregnant. I was dating my husband for 4 months,
No way.
When I got pregnant.
I don't know if I knew that.
and then we didn't care. It was
Don't
fine.
tell
we
me
didn't
you
care.
you had sex before marriage.
I know it's terrible, isn't
Risa.
it? And we didn't care. But one day, his father.
Sinful.
We used to
Sinful.
laugh about it. His father, who they lived in Basalt, and my ex-husband had a house in Aspen, and we'd go there at Christmas time. And his father said to him, "You know, I'm a modern guy," which was so not what he was.
His
He goes,
father.
"I'm a modern guy, but I think you should get married." And then was the 1994 earthquake in January of
January,
1994.
Was that
And-
the Northridge one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And we were in our house, and it's on bedrock, and little picture frames didn't fall. We had water, hot and cold running water. We had phone service, but he was so shaken up that on that day, and I was getting my amnio results that day, and on that day he asked me to marry him because it was a big,
Aw.
huge
Aw.
earthquake.
It was scary. Yeah.
Right.
It was like a 9/11 of
Yeah.
LA.
It was very scary.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you say yes?
I did, and then
Wait, were you so happy, or was it like
I was
okay?
happy. I was
Yeah.
happy. And then we got married in Carmel, and there were only 4 people there. Like we met on the side of a mountain. Then we came back and we had a party at my very dear friend's house, and she just sold it. She just sold it to Channing Tatum, and I feel like knocking on the door, going, "Can I? You know, I got married here. Can I come
Yeah.
visit?"
You should.
You should. You absolutely should. Amy will go with you.
I'll go with you. if I must, I'll go. It's fine.
Anyway, that was my.
When Fred and I got married, we were married on the rooftop at the London, which is not necessarily the London, but kind of that area is my favorite, one of my favorite places in the world. Paris, Manhattan, and that area of West Hollywood are like
Makes
my
sense to me.
favorite in the whole world. Just the hillside, the way it all is. And so it's this beautiful afternoon. Everything's perfect. I was wearing this dress that a friend made. It just was like this an easy, no stress whatsoever. It was very quick. Sent out Evites 3 weeks before. It was like the quickest,
Oh my.
easiest thing. And I'm walking down the aisle, and Fred is like beaming ear to ear. Later on that night, he
right.
tells me, "You know what I was thinking when you were walking down the aisle, and I was just looking at you, and I'm like, what? Oh my God, her teeth are so big."
And she's worn a mask ever since.
Yeah.
Where did you get married, Sloan?
I got married in the backyard of my father's home, which we turned into a little winter wonderland. It was really pale pink roses, cherry blossom twigs, and it was really beautiful. We got married on the swimming pool. We put acrylic across the top. It was quite beautiful, except my husband wanted to invite all of his friends from his first marriage.
Oh.
Oh.
And most came for the spectacle because I was a well-known person in Dallas at the time, and Don had a whole different world. And I remember going to the country club like months earlier, and I could hear people whispering like, "That's the lingerie girl, and that's the man who just lost his wife last,"
Oh.
whispering. So they wanted to come to the party, but they were kind of like taking bets on how long this would last.
Hate that.
It was really not nice.
That's disgusting.
I actually caught out of the corner of my eye, I saw one of his friends stuffing their face with our food. You know, I overheard the conversation. These were issues. These are issues in second marriages. I had my friends, he had his friends from a first marriage that really really didn't embrace Don after his first wife died. And certainly, even though they all said, "Oh, we can't wait to go out with you guys," actually, we've never seen most of them since that day.
Oh, wow.
That says a lot.
A lot.
Sure does.
It does. But wait, I have a very important question,
Yeah.
Sloan. Did your dad have a date, and was it that ex-con that has two-tone
Oh,
hair?
funny you should say that, because there was another girl that we hired security to keep out of the wedding.
Oh.
No way. You did? Really?
We hired 2 security guards to keep her away. My dad did have a date there, but this girl that we hired the security was upstairs in his bedroom helping him get dressed.
What?
The girl that you wanted to keep out was helping him get dressed?
Actually was upstairs getting him dressed.
Why?
Did you know that?
Not until this was happening.
Wait, so you hired
Oh my
security
God.
to keep out a woman
This woman.
that was with your dad, but he was clearly not part of that? Or
This girl had stolen his car, stolen checks,
Oh.
cash money, given him a black eye, and she's upstairs. And by the way, the Thursday night before the wedding, we had it was a Valentine's, so we had a big, in the heart of Texas kind of dinner for everybody who had flown in that night. And my father saw this girl there who was a friend of mine for years, and she was actually a makeup artist girlfriend. And I don't know if she had her son at this party, but he said something like, "Is she bringing her son to the wedding?" And I said, I don't know, Dad, maybe. He said, "Then why can't so-and-so bring their kid?" And this is the woman we were trying to keep out.
Oh my
Who,
gosh.
it's a very long story. He had driven her from Connecticut to Texas, and she had thrown him out of her van in a sleet storm on a 6-lane highway.
Oh
my
my
And I
God.
had no idea. By the way, I had no idea where my dad was for weeks. I lived in a wing of the house for a while. When I started my business, I was working, and I was engaged to somebody else, by the way, before Don. And my fiance was in Iowa doing his residency in surgery. So I called the girlfriend that he dated the most in Dallas, and I said, "Do you know where Dad is? And I haven't seen him in a few weeks." And she said, "Oh, he's with Bill Gates on his yacht. They're working on his restaurant software." I said, "Oh, he's with Bill Gates. I forgot, working on his software."
Oh my
These
God.
are the
code?
stories my dad would tell his girlfriend, and she bought them.
Oh, that's funny.
way.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my God.
Oh, and you had to go along
mean,
with it.
He was such a character. So I got the mail every day for weeks, and this is a great story because, I mean, we had tubs of mail. I'm talking about from the floor to the ceiling when he came home. But I would go through them, see if there were any bills or things I needed to handle. Well, I must have gotten 200 letters from Huntsville, Texas. Do you know where Huntsville's famous for?
a prison.
A very famous prison like San Quentin of Texas. And they were all sex letters to my dad. Because I guess he sent them all $10, $20 to buy candy or cigarettes or whatever. So when he got home, I had all the mail waiting for him at the bottom on his side of the house. And so one day he said, "Honey, where's the rest of the mail?" I said, "Dad, you have like 15 bins. What are you missing?" He said, "Are you sure that's ever?" I kept like 200 of them in my panty drawer. I never opened them. I said, "Well, what are you missing, Dad?" He said, "Honey, I don't know, but I'm sure I'm missing some mail." And I said, I can't imagine, Dad. I mean, I can't imagine. I have no idea.
How long? Wait a second. Let me ask you a question.
God, I
have
wish
the
I knew
best
him.
dad
How
in the
long
whole
were you,
world.
how long were your parents married? How long were they married? Your mom and dad?
They were married from 58 to 67, 9 years. He was a character.
Sounds like a character.
A
Now
character.
we know. Now we know where you come from.
Oh, God.
Well,
Huntsville, Texas.
yeah, seriously.
My mother was so the other extreme. It's hysterical.
Oh, you're someplace in between. That's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Well, what's hilarious is when my mother married her second husband, and he had 3 kids and she had 2, and she thought she was Julie Andrews. And my stepfather kind of was like the guy in The Sound of Music. He was a drill sergeant type, and he wanted dinner at a certain time, and you had certain topics you talked about and chores. But my mother was the Duchess in The Sound of Music. Remember the Duchess that doesn't want to deal with the kids or anything to do? That's really who she was, but she thinks she's Julie Andrews, which is hysterical.
Amy was ready. So if you could redo your life, let's talk about colleges, shall we? Am I psychic? Is that what you were going to say?
Psychic. Yes. If I could redo anything in life, I would have gone to UCLA theater school or like Yale or like something out of state. had a different experience, like a real college
But
experience.
you had a nice experience.
I had a great experience. I busted through college in 3 years. So I felt very rushed. You know how I do. Like I just do a lot quickly.
You like
I
things.
would've-
You like
I
things
like-
to get going.
I don't like to mess around.
But
Yeah,
you
right.
may not have been ready for the Yale School of Drama until later.
Most
Yeah,
people
Appreciated
Totally. I wouldn't have. I didn't
Experience,
because I
you know?
didn't.
in
really.
England, everybody takes a gap year.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
nobody should be expected to know what you want to do for the rest of your life at
Yeah,
18.
that's
No.
hard.
No.
And I was barely 17 because I graduated high school
Yeah,
early.
me
because
too.
So I was
Right.
just so, yeah. Did you all really?
Yeah.
16.
Yeah.
Oh no, I wasn't 16.
I was 17.
I was 17.
Yeah. So,
But-
yeah, I felt very like, young, kind of. I was always young for my grade.
Me
And now
too.
look at you, how mature you are.
Now I'm just old,
No, you're not.
Mature.
mature.
Are you-
that's interesting.
Are
A
you
different
actually going
college.
around that? You're actually asking everybody that same
Yeah.
question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go first.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, you just went first.
I know, but now we should go in order.
You go another first.
Another first.
She's sensitive.
She's technically first.
I don't know what I mean. I agree with Diane that if you change one thing, then something else, you don't realize what else gets impacted by it. And then something, it's not that I would really change many of the steps, except I believe that when I was married and had a baby, I would have probably tried to work just a little bit less and spend just a little bit more time at home and not miss some of those important milestones because you don't realize how fast they go.
Yeah. Crazy.
So
Yeah.
I probably would have, look, I know somebody, I'm going to use her name, Tanya Lopez. She's at Lifetime now, and she worked with me at ICM, and she made a deal where she had Fridays off. She worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and had Fridays off. Now, I realize she was in the literary world. I realize it's very difficult if you represent actors, but look, I maybe I would have tried to do it more from home. My son, I can hear him still say to me, Mommy, why can't you work at home like Russell's mother? And it would break my heart. That's what I would do. Work more.
See, that's
work
a good
less.
answer.
It's just, today, it breaks my heart. I know you're sad for me, aren't you? I know.
I get it.
It's terrible. I know. Oh, well.
Sloan.
I'm the opposite of Diane. I would change a lot of things. Number one, I would be more like Diane. I wouldn't have wasted so much time on men and boys. I think lots of energy women put towards bad guys, relationships, men, boyfriends when they're in high school, college. I'd stay more focused and not get derailed.
I
And
like
I
that
wouldn't have
too.
wasted 5 years in an engagement with a jerk, or he wasn't a jerk, with a lousy family. I had so many flags when I look back day one,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have not wasted time and energy, I think, on men.
That's all the same one, right?
Yeah.
What would you have done differently, Gloria Butler?
I would have not wasted many years in friendships that meant nothing. The older I get, the more valuable I find friendships and people that really matter. And I had friends, in quotes, that really weren't friends. And it
Yeah.
really
That you spend a lot of time with.
yeah,
or
and it really
on.
aggravates me that I lost some of my life to somebody that is horrible.
But you know what, though? If you look back on things, everything that you did was an experience from which you grew.
I didn't
And-
grow.
You might have.
I was stunted.
You might have learned something or what you didn't want, even if
Well,
you
now
learned what
I
you
know.
didn't
Yeah,
want.
it did
Now
teach me
you know.
something.
Right.
Yeah.
It taught me what horrible people are like.
Were you
Just
a
thought I'd
magnet
share.
for horrible people at a certain time?
Yeah, probably. No, I wasn't.
Probably not.
I wasn't.
But I mean-
I just didn't know better.
Yeah, everything's a learning experience.
Yeah, it is.
Everything.
It is.
Okay, now I want to talk
Okay.
about,
Raggeries and kudos.
yeah.
That was
Okay.
kind of a big old ball of raggery. What we just did.
I know, right? No, but I have some. I don't
Oh,
usually
okay.
have any.
Okay, I'd love to hear.
Really?
Wait, let me guess.
I've told you all
Are
of
they
them.
parking related?
Well, let's see. There's parking related.
Oh, I bet
and
they're
okay, wait.
Postmates.
Here's no. Oh no.
Oh.
Forget that. No. But here's something that I find interesting. At the grocery store, I myself like to put my groceries in my car and then run back to put my cart away because I get at least a little bit of exercise running the cart back to put it back. And I marvel at looking around the parking lot, people that just leave their carts.
Yep.
They mess up a parking spot because they leave their cart there, or they leave it on the side. And then I think so many people have Fitbits and those watches because they're checking how many steps they have. How about get off your fat ass and take your cart back?
I'm
right?
with you.
Like, how hard is it?
Amen. Amen.
How hard is it to take those 20 steps?
It's not hard.
Here, here.
I agree.
Okay, that was one of
I
mine.
always do it too.
I have another one.
Please share.
And a lot of it occurred at the grocery store.
Because that's where your social life is.
No, but I spent a lot of time going to the grocery store. 'Cause I have to get pomegranate seeds pretty often because they go bad.
Yeah.
So I have to replenish them like every few days because that's what I eat every morning for breakfast.
Lettuce and
But
seeds.
when somebody's sitting, they get in their car and the parking lot is full.
I hate that too.
They get in their car and they turn it on, and so that you can see that their reverse lights are on, but they sit there filing. I don't know what they're doing. I'm making this up. Filing their nails,
Talking on the phone.
texting,
Yeah.
talking on the telephone, reading. They're sitting there for like 10 minutes while you're sitting behind them, and they know
Waiting
you're
for a
sitting
spot.
behind them, waiting for a spot. And
That's
and
so
I
obnoxious.
think people should try to be just a little bit more
Courteous.
conscious of other people around them.
Agreed.
Well,
I
yeah.
have a quick raggery.
Go on, please.
You know what drives me nuts?
What?
The Citizen app and all of those
Oh.
freaking notifications.
I don't read them very much.
Really?
Do you have it? You don't have
Yeah.
it. You do?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you're not in LA anymore, so it's never going off.
No, it goes off other places, but I don't.
Every 2
So
minutes.
delete it.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay.
I don't mind. I don't have mine. I don't have notifications. I just have it on. there.
Oh, last night, Fred's all panicked that there's a break-in up the street.
Oh, if I was married to Fred,
Somebody- yeah.
I wouldn't have any
That's
apps.
what it is. But he
Not
has
next
the-
door.
He has the Citizen app, so no
I
matter
would
what.
take it off his phone too.
Yeah, I should do that.
Yeah, Dad, when he's sleeping.
He is like a maniac, obsessed, connected to
Terry.
it. Like
Terry.
yeah, because
Oh.
they're the
Next
same.
door. Terry doesn't.
Same
have
thing.
next door.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, same.
So
thing.
Fred's like
Next
looking
door.
out the window. There's a helicopter. He's all, yep. Oh, the neighborhood's going to hell in a handbasket. What it really was, somebody's alarm went off. That's it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know that I have.
I-
I do. I have a raggery.
I even have another one, but I'm going to wait for the two of you to go.
Okay, here's my raggery.
Okay.
So I went into a sandwich shop, and the place was really small. Did I already tell you guys this?
No, I don't know.
And I didn't have a mask on.
No.
So I walk in. The place is really small. I called in an order to pick up, and so I'm going
You
from the
told them.
door 4 feet away to the counter to say, "Hi, I'm Gloria, and I'm here to pick up my order." I forgot my mask. It was in the car, and they all 4 people behind the counter said, "Mask, mask. Where's your mask?" But there's 10 people closer to them. They're eating without a mask on,
Right. Right.
and all I
I
did is walk
mean-
up to the counter, and I said, "Pick up my shirt." And I said, "Oh, sorry." They said, "No, you have to leave until you have a mask
That's
on."
kind of, I know.
Thank goodness I had a mask in the car. Somebody else would have had my sandwich already paid for.
Yeah,
That's my raggery.
that's terrible.
That's a good one.
Your
Sloan?
turn, Sloan.
Since we're doing a podcast, Gloria and I have a mutual friend who has a Sirius XM radio show and a podcast. And he used our cat in one of his, and not a very flattering way. And I think that friends, animals, and children should be off limits.
Me too.
Wait, he used your cat. What's that
What does
mean?
that mean?
They called. I was at a hairdresser in Dallas the other day, and she said, "Don't shoot the messenger." And she was so happy. She hadn't seen me in months. And I said, "What's up, Suze?" And she loves this guy. And she said, "Listen to the October 1st podcast." And while I was there, I keyed it up. And the title of it was Death Gargle. And they were saying that they were at our house having cocktails, how much they love us and how much fun they had. And our cat jumped on the counter and he had a death gargle. And the people that he had on because he's got a snort, he's got a nasal obstruction. He does not have a death gargle. And then this girl who's a actress on Law and Order who was on the show said, "Oh God, I hate when people keep their animals alive longer than they should." And they went on and on. And I texted him, Glow. I said, "I'm listening to Death Gargle." And he went, "Oh no." And at least I returned some funny emojis, but I was like, my cat is very healthy, doing great. His hair is not gone. It's actually full, soft, and like velvet. And he eats like a horse and is doing very well.
Oh, they didn't say your name, did they?
Yes.
Oh no.
Not our last name. I
But
mean,
still,
we love Stacy and Don and Stacy. I mean, I don't mind that. The people on the show don't know what they're talking about.
But to say that about the cat,
If you want to talk about your own kids or animals, that's
Yeah.
okay.
but nobody else.
Nobody else can.
Nobody else's.
No. No,
Yes.
that's terrible.
That's just one thing that I can take a joke, but I didn't think that was funny.
That's
Yeah,
not
it's
funny.
Okay, that's not
funny.
fun. That's a good one. Do
Yes.
you want to
Wow,
hear? Do
that blew me away.
you want to hear my next one?
Oh yes, please.
Yes.
It also happened at the grocery store.
I think you need to get out more, Risa.
You think?
No, I happened to go to this one grocery store that's particularly close, and
Called
it
Bristol Farms. Go on.
correct. And if anybody from Bristol Farms is listening, this is not a good thing. So at Bristol Farms, there's a couple of spaces that are for electric cars. And it does get full in the
I
parking lot. I understand. And so a lot of times I know that I can charge my car there. And so I pull in and I look, and there's 2 cars in the 2 electric car parking spots. And one of them is like this old beater station wagon. I'm pretty sure it's not an electric car.
Usually get ticketed for that.
Well, hold on. I should have called the
Okay.
police, but I didn't. So then later, I eventually find a space, but it's not too far from that space where that car was parked. And I'm parked not too far. So we both come out at the same time.
Oh, no.
How lucky is
this
that?
Larry David.
And then I'm putting my groceries,
It was
and
his lucky day.
it was a she.
Her
And I
lucky
say
day.
to her, I kind of yell across, and she's not that far from me. She's about like where Sloan is right now. That's about how far she was.
How old is she?
60s, something like that. And I yell across, and I go, you shouldn't be parking in an electric car parking spot because it says it's for electric cars. Completely ignores me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I say to her, I know you can hear me. Completely ignores me. I'm still putting my stuff, and I really should have called, but I didn't. So if you're listening from Bristol Farms, make sure that. okay.
Patrol your parking spaces
Yes,
better,
please.
people.
So then as I'm starting to drive away, she then turns around, she waves at me. I really should have hit her
Oh
car,
no, you
but,
should have totally hit her.
Oh,
but I didn't.
I'm kind of glad you didn't.
Of
'cause
course I wouldn't do that. But still, that was really bad. That's bad.
That's really bad. Now I have another raggery.
Okay.
It doesn't have anything to do with any kind of grocery store, but it actually comes from what Sloan said, that people shouldn't talk about your kids or your animals. Was there a third one? Did you say kids, animals, and?
Kids and animals. I mean,
Okay.
those are our babies, right?
Yes, so that goes on the same level, but then just below it, people shouldn't talk about your spouse. Because I know somebody that doesn't like me, and she talks shit, that's not a bad word, about my husband.
is a
and I
bad
think
word.
that's really disgusting.
She talks
Talk
stuff.
shit about me, not my husband.
She talks shit
Yeah.
about you to your husband?
No.
What?
Or where?
Talk
in general?
shit on something
But not.
about my husband. Yeah, something like that.
Oh, yeah, well, okay.
on
something
TV
like that.
or radio?
Sharon?
Radio. Yeah. Yeah. No, talk shit, made up a whole story about my husband.
Oh, yeah, I knew
Because she
this.
doesn't like.
Oh, fabricating anything is disgusting. I mean, that misinformation's what it's all about.
I wouldn't
Look
put
at
too
the
much.
source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Consider the source, exactly.
That's it. But people still shouldn't talk about.
I agree.
Do you think when we talk about Kudos, you can also do like commercials?
Totally.
Like
Yeah.
like when you had something, like when you produced your own show, or when you were on a show, we talked about how great that would be, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Did we kudos Amy's new role? Kudos to Amy.
What's it called?
you.
Leverage Redemption?
Redemption.
Amazon
Prime.
You were
Yeah, really cool.
fantastic.
Yes.
She was so good, except for she's a gold
Amy,
digger.
tell us episode 15.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
episode 15 of 16, but the whole series is so good.
I really liked it too.
Thank you.
Maybe we have to watch it. I have to watch the whole series.
It's so good.
I watched all of Leverage.
It's such a good series.
It
It's
is.
like these ex-criminals who are not criminals anymore, but
Yeah.
kind of justice fighting. It's just,
I loved it.
yeah.
I have a movie coming out on October 30th,
Is that your
Woohoo.
kudos?
What?
I guess,
What?
on the Hallmark Mystery and Movies channel, because it's a little bit more deep.
Dark.
Deep.
But
than
it's a Christmas movie,
it
yes?
is.
Yes.
It's coming out on October 30th, and it's
Exciting.
called A Christmas Promise. It's sweet.
Fantastic.
It really is sweet.
Cute.
Yeah.
Can't wait
Just
to
in
watch
time
it.
for Halloween.
I know, weird. It should be a Halloween.
Yeah.
But on Hallmark, they don't have a Halloween
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah. Right at Halloween, or apparently the day before, is when you can start promoting Christmas.
Obviously.
Apparently, I thought
Yeah.
that you start promoting Christmas in like November.
The day after Thanksgiving.
Right.
Yes,
No,
that's
it's
what
the
it used
day-
to be.
It's usually
Used to
now
be,
the day
but-
after Halloween.
Yeah.
November 1st, all the decorations go up.
Right.
It was Fred Corey's birthday the other day.
It
That's
sure
a kudos.
was.
That's a kudos.
Yeah.
We had the best day.
You did?
Oh, we did. We had the best day.
Amy bought him like 14 presents.
I did. Lots of little presents. It was good.
I love that.
It's sweet.
It was good. Oh my God, but this one jacket, I bought him this great coat. All Saints, an All Saints coat
Yeah.
that was just great. And then it hits me at like 11 o'clock the night before his birthday. And I get this like
What?
overwhelming feeling. And I run to the closet. He has it.
Oh, no.
Oh, I've done
Oh.
that. I have done
He
that.
had
It's
the
the worst.
exact coat. That's why I thought he would look so great in it. And it was so perfect.
Because
for
he's
him.
already worn it.
Because he has it.
I've done that.
So what'd you do?
I returned it.
And
you
you
have
never told
13
him?
other
And
presents.
no, I didn't tell him. I gave it to him.
Oh,
I said, this represents some other jacket that,
that
you
you
might
need
want.
to get.
And he
Yeah.
was like,
Oh, that's so
What
funny.
is wrong
That
with
is
you?
funny. I know it's hard to buy presents for your.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I go with him because he knows exactly what he wants already. You know, Don, with clothing. No, I don't make myself crazy anymore.
He was telling us how difficult it is to buy you presents, Sloan, because
No,
you
it's
don't.
not.
Yeah, he
Yes.
bought you shoes that you didn't
You
want.
didn't want him to spend too much money. He took
No.
you to,
But here's the thing. I don't like surprises, so I'd rather him say, "What would you like?" or "Let's go look," or when we're in Europe, I'll usually see something I like. But after 20 years, even after 2 years, you've got birthday, you've got Christmas, you got anniversary, you've got Valentine's Day. We make ourselves crazy. I'd rather just, "What would you like, honey?" Or is there something you're really thinking, you want, you're thinking about, you'd like, and it just makes everybody's less stress. We're running around trying to buy something and surprise him, and he's going to be like, "Oh, I don't really you know what? I do know there is a jacket I want, or there is a shirt I want, or there is." Don always has something up his sleeve that he wants.
And I
Yeah.
bet he wears it on his wrist.
I was just going to say, like,
Yeah.
not that far up his sleeve.
Oh, no,
It's
no.
usually-
Gloria, he cruises around Cannon, Brighton Way, Beverly. He schmize around, and he knows what he wants, or he has something
He's
in
funny.
mind.
He is
Funny.
funny.
That's funny.
I could give a kudos to the Rode podcasting system
Yeah.
and Rode microphones.
Yes, kudos to
Oh.
Amy for
Kudos-
getting this all together.
Kudos to Amy
Well,
for
let's-
setting this all up.
Let's see if this
Yes.
works.
And to Real Songs and Diane
And to
for
Real Songs and
housing
Diane
us.
Warren. Yes.
being
And
our new
everybody that
home.
works here.
Yeah.
Michael, Mario, Cindy, Diane,
Yes,
Chris.
the whole team.
Chris.
Just good people. And
Yeah, until next time, go ahead.
signing off.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.